This is Supervisor Richard Forster with your supervisor report from our meeting of October 22nd, 2013. Starting off the meeting today under public comment, we had Dr. Robert Hartman in talking about that drug turn-in, prescription drug turn-in. And as he said in our meeting, 50% of adolescent youths have tried marijuana, whereas 70% of adolescent youths have tried prescription drugs. So you need to get those drugs out of your house. Also, Dr. Hartman said it's flu season, so it's time to get your influenza vaccine. So he encouraged people to get that. He did say that 20 to 30,000 people are killed by the flu every year, so really need to get that flu vaccine. They're available around the county at our health department. Also, he talked about a teen driver event that was held, I believe, last night at Argonaut High School, making awareness of teen driving and not driving under the influence of anything. We also had Mike Israel in talking about two code enforcement issues that are being resolved at this time. Both of them involve septic tanks. One septic tank has been removed. The other has permits to get things done to put a new system in place. So we're glad to see that people are taking seriously the code enforcement actions that happened several weeks ago. We have had Bob Sleppy in our meeting from California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. He is the facilities planning and construction manager for the infill project. This infill project at Mule Creek State Prison, adjacent to it, will have 1,584 beds. It will actually exist of two separate structures within a fenced area. It'll be a level 2 infill project, so these are not the worst of the worst. The worst are level 4s. At this time, they're still going through the environmental process, but the full environmental impact report, the final, should be released next Monday. So come next Monday on the 28th, you'll be able to get the final environmental impact report to see if you want to make more comments on that. The county and the city of Ione, I'm sure, will be interested in that. He did say there will be no closure of a Southern California prison that they had intended to close. What that means is the net result will be more new jobs in the facility in Amador County, because they're not going to displace workers from around the state. They're actually training them at light speed now at their Galt training facility. Other issues that came up in this discussion were the project schedule and the timeline. They anticipate awarding a contract to a design build team in January of 2014. The Community Mitigation Fund will be about $1.267 million. The Amador County schools will get $633,600. The county and the city of Ione will split that same amount upon resolutions by them. The Amador County Transportation Commission in regional traffic mitigation fees will get about $296,000. Fortunately, we had Neil Peacock there for our second item on the agenda. Neil's from ACTC, Transportation Commission, and he indicated that those are impact fee payments. There's also fair share payments that are made up within the total fee structure. So the state will actually have to go back now and mitigate that proportional impact, and that is for existing development, approved development, and project development. And that in turn may mean more money so that the SR 104, SR 88 intersection improvements can be done sooner. City of Ione will also get area-wide traffic fees that have been negotiated, and police and fire support for 30 months in the amount of somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000. Ongoing negotiations there. $2.5 million will go into an effluent disposal system. Mule Creek has basically indicated, the state's indicated they want to get out of the spray field business, so there'll be new off-site spray fields, 100+ acres that will be developed. The city is negotiating a contract with CDCR and the state for development and operation of those spray fields. Board of Supervisors was very interested in the job fairs, the local bidders that come in, to make sure that they have some preference. There's not actually going to be a local bidder preference built in, but whoever is the prime contractor is informed that Amador County has a lot of good construction people, and those people should be considered high up on the list when it comes time for hiring. With that, we also talked about the waste removal from the site. We have had development, retail home development in the past where they bring in their own dumpsters and take the waste out of county. That doesn't do us any good for our diversion requirements. We have to meet our 50% diversion requirements. Now the state is ramping that up to 75%. So Mr. Sleppy made a note of that. It's going to try and build that in. The state has a contract proposal manager, which the county wants the name of that person so that we can work very closely with them on getting locals elected. Also talked about the entrance to the facility, which at this time they've indicated they're going to put in a temporary road to facilitate construction. Mr. Sleppy indicated in no way that would stay in the future. So we're going to examine that final environmental impact report when it comes out. Neil Peacock, Mr. Peacock from the Amador County Transportation Commission, then gave a report on the status of the Pine Grove Bypass, which is no longer called a Pine Grove Bypass. It is the SR 88 Pine Grove Corridor Improvement Project. Anticipated originally this would be in the range of $30 to $70 million. The state has just flat out said they don't have that much money to put into it, and neither do the locals, so it'll set at the end at about $30 million. Alternatives that were considered are either too expensive or there's too many impacts to the community in the context-sensitive solution process that they're using. So most alternatives were eliminated. They've come down now to just going straight through the city of Pine Grove and or the area of Pine Grove and making the improvements there in that context-sensitive solution process. They've met one-on-one with property owners at this time. They have 30% design completed. Environmental studies are ongoing, and now they're making the presentations. Actually, today, the 23rd of October, there'll be a workshop number 3. I believe that's in Pine Grove. And then at the ACTC meeting on the 24th, there'll be another meeting to discuss this at with the commissioners. So other than that, we had another item talking about construction and taking the park and rec fees and local traffic impact fees considerably down or zero them out for a time, probably about a year, and see if that spurs development at this time. There were many people in the audience that felt it might be a good idea at this time, now that we seem to be coming out of the 5 years of economic recession that we had. I don't know. Amador County still doesn't seem to be that healthy, but we're going to try to do our part to see that that local developers are able to move forward and create some economy for our county. 223-6470 if you have any questions. And the Supervisor Richard Forster, we're going to a break.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Hi, I'm Terry Sanders.